Hey, what's going on, guys? I hope you guys are having a good day. I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins from Your Black World and the Black Business School. I wanted to talk to you guys about something I saw in the press. In case you guys haven't followed, let me know if you've been following this case of Amber Geiger, the former police officer who shot down Botham Jean. He shot him, or she shot him in his own apartment. She claims she walked into the apartment by mistake, and she saw somebody there, and for some reason she decided to shoot to kill, and now this young black man's dead. He wasn't a thug, he was an accountant, he was just a regular dude, and he was just eating ice cream. That's all he was doing. And apparently she thought it was okay to go in there and shoot him, which has upset a lot of people for good reason. I mean, there's no reason why we shouldn't be upset about this. A police officer killing another black man and killing him when he's not armed and killing him in his own home. That's a very good reason to be upset. I know I was upset. Now, here's what's really interesting. I analyzed this case yesterday. I broke it down for you guys in terms of talking about, what bothered me about the case, good and bad. What bothered me was the biggest thing, which was the death of a young black man, right? Just the fact that this brother's dead, and there's no coming back from that. And I think that is literally the leading factor in all of this. But the part that really got me, that really blew my mind, is that she goes into court, and after the trial's over, they give her a sentence of 10 years, which we debated that yesterday. I actually said that I was a little bit bothered by the fact that I didn't know for sure if she, shot him deliberately or not. Like that's a big factor for me. Was this on purpose, or was there something sinister going on, or did she legitimately walk into that house accidentally and accidentally shoot this black man? And I think that should be considered. I think just out of fairness, because I said, well, if that was a black man who walked into another apartment by accident and actually shot somebody, I was like, what sentence would I want that black man to have? He should probably pay a price, but I don't really know if life in prison or the death penalty would make sense, right? We like to make things political, and I understand that, but the thing is, this is not political. This is human life, right? If this were a black man who shot a white woman by accidentally walking in her apartment, we know what would probably happen to him, but we wouldn't want the death penalty if we didn't know for sure that he did this on purpose. What really got me, though, what really bothered me was when I saw this hug. I don't know if you guys saw it. Anybody see this? Give me a yes or no if you saw this, where Botham Jean's brother decided to hug Amber Geiger in the courtroom. Did you see that? Like where his brother, literally the brother of the victim, goes up to this lady and hugs her, right? And I'm like, that's peculiar. Why is he hugging the woman that just murdered her brother, right? I mean, because she was convicted of murder, right? I think they tried her for murder. He's dead because of murder. And you're hugging the person who just murdered your brother. So here's what I was thinking about, right? I'm gonna tell you, I was giving the brother the benefit of the doubt. I was thinking, well, maybe there's something to this case, because I'm like, only a lunatic would hug the person who was just convicted of murdering her brother. I really thought that, right? And here's the thing. So I'm reading along, right? And I'm reading this article, and I'm like, okay, where's the other shoe gonna drop? What's the other missing piece of evidence that the public doesn't have? What is it that we're hearing and seeing in this case that we weren't aware of that will make all this make sense? And you know what I found? I found nothing. I found nothing that explained to me, no smoking gun, no secret evidence, nothing that the public, no big, piece of information the public didn't have, nothing that explained why this black man was hugging this white woman who just got convicted of murdering his brother. So that came off as some coon shit. I mean, that really came off as buffoonery. Like that really came. I mean, I don't know how he sees it. I don't know if he wants his brother's murder to be politicized in this way. And I'm not one to do that, because, something like this is very personal. I think the family has a right to respond how they see fit. But shit, man. You know what this reminded me of? What do y'all think this reminds me of? Yeah, it was religion. Yeah, Will X, you're right. It was religion. It was literally him saying, if my brother were here, he'd want you to give your life over to Christ. Now, this is no disrespect to the Christians in the room. Some of y'all go to church every Sunday. I won't be there with you, but I have no problem with people that go to church. I have no problem with the Black church as a collective. Now, we know that there's some issues there, but the church, is not garbage, but the church ain't perfect either. We know this, right? But the thing that got to me was, what do y'all think this reminded me of? Tell me which incident this reminded me of. Take a guess. I want to see if somebody can guess what this reminds me of. I see Robert says it's a disgrace. Hey, Mama D. Come in, Taylor's in here. Billy Boy. Timothy Trayvon. No, the church slaughter. Thank you, Healthweight, in Real Talk. Yes, it reminded me of when that guy, Gillen Roof, went into that Black church, shot up all those people, and those ridiculous, pathetic Negroes were in the church screaming, "We forgive you," before the trial even began. Some of our kids are raised to forgive anybody for anything instantly. And a lot of their kids are raised to shoot on sight. Like, we'll forgive you after we kill your ass, after we take you out, after we get vengeance. They say, when they say, we say vengeance is mine, said the Lord. And he says, well, vengeance is mine, period. Like, that's where the sentence is. Vengeance is mine. It doesn't mean said the Lord. No, it's vengeance is mine. And the Lord can get his vengeance after that, but I'm going to get mine first. When 9/11 got attacked, the first thing they were talking about was, who did this shit? We about to make them pay. We about to go ride on a whole nother country to go make sure that they pay. And the Taliban was running up, foot shuffling, holding press conferences. We did not do this. We did not do this, because they knew that George W. Bush, as much of a imperfect president as he wasn't playing. Them cowboys don't play. They will show up at your house with shotguns, and they will get their own revenge. They will not wait for Jesus to come back for things to be made right. Hit the thumbs up button. Please hit the thumbs up button. I'm going to read a little bit of this to you. In a moment very rare in the annals of crime history, a man hugging the killer of his own brother in the courtroom where she was convicted, wishing her the best. That's the scene that played out in a Dallas courtroom Wednesday in the moments following the sentencing of Amber Geiger, the former Dallas police officer who shot and killed a Black neighbor after she accidentally walked into his apartment. The victim's brother had forgiveness in his heart. Botham Jean was, see, and that's the thing. If you have forgiveness in your heart, that's fine. That's your right. But keep it in your heart, man. Like his brother's killing, it impacted a lot of people besides him. He might have forgiveness in his heart. You might be able to forgive, but there were a lot of people who supported you, who connected to the death of your brother, because they can identify with the threats that exist for young Black men in this country. It meant something to them other than just, whether or not you choose to forgive that individual white lady. And I think that's the problem. When I saw the hug, I'm gonna tell you, I was fair. Y'all probably gonna say I was cooned out for this, but I saw him hug her, and I said, I wonder why he's hugging her. Maybe he's a normal person. Maybe there's something there. Maybe he really truly was convinced in the courtroom that it was an accident. I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. I hate thinking about, I only like processing this, but if somebody accidentally shot my brother, I'd be like, what the hell happened? Why were you in his apartment? What was going on? And if the answers added up, and if it really sounded like you did it by accident, I would realize it doesn't help me to be pissed off at you if you're pissed off at yourself already. Like, if you're already kicking yourself because you made a horrible mistake, that's fine. We can work through that. I'm not going to hug you in the courtroom. I'm not going to scream, I forgive you. But in my heart, I'm not going to carry bitterness in my heart, because I'm going to say, well, shit, if that were me, and I accidentally did that, I don't know if I'd want somebody to treat me like I chose to murder another person. Right. But, in this case, I didn't see any information there that was anything other than what the public has. I didn't see anything that even made any remote amount of sense for this man to be hugging this lady in the courtroom. And maybe that's his way of processing things. Maybe that's what his family does. But this connects deeply to history. Dr. Claude Anderson writes in Black Labor, White Wealth, and also in Powernomics, how religion and Christianity was given to Black people to make you forgive people that come and slaughter you. It was designed to make you defenseless while they become the predators and you simply become the prey. It was designed to treat you or to get you to think as if, equality was all you were seeking. You weren't actually seeking to prosper and get ahead. You're seeking to simply not be the victim anymore. When all you're trying to do is not be a victim anymore, and you don't have the ability to respond as the aggressor when you are attacked, then you will not be respected by any bully. No bully will ever respect you if all you know how to do is play defense. So at the end of the day, Black people, if you look at the way we think, the way we act, and the way we vote, we typically don't vote with the edge of the assertive force. We don't vote, we don't move with the edge that the aggressor has. We never have the edge of the aggressor because we're always playing defense. We're always worried about being attacked. And if we're not attacked, then we don't do anything. We don't respond. And I just kind of think that at the end of the day, those voices of Black people who are open for, fairness, meaning an eye for an eye, whatever it might be, those voices need to be heard too. And those Black people have lived throughout history. They've lived throughout. Nat Turner was one of those men. Nat Turner was one of those guys that says, okay, you raped and murdered and pillaged our people. Then we might come back and get you. We might come back and we might just make sure you pay a penalty so that justice is served. Vengeance does belong to the Lord, but it's also going to belong to me. And I'm about to go handle my business with your ass, right? Nat Turner was not a guy who would go hurt somebody who didn't do anything to him, not that I know of. But Nat Turner was a guy who said, yeah, you raped my daughter. I'm have to come and cut them balls off, right? I don't want to do it, but you kind of made me do it because this behavior is something that led me to have to do something I don't even enjoy doing, right? And I think that basic logic, the fact that simply saying, that we're not going to easily forgive, that we are going to stand up for ourselves, that logic is considered to be radical and overly assertive and overly aggressive, really speaks to the depth through which passive behavior has been pushed down in our culture from generation to generation. Remember, think about this. You've got these big, freakishly strong, superhuman people that you're trying to control. Well, the only way you can control them is control their minds, because you can't control their bodies. So you control their minds and you get them afraid. You treat them like you would an elephant in a zoo or an elephant in a circus. The elephant could crush the trainer with one foot. But if you convince the elephant that the trainer is the boss, if you convince the elephant to be passive as opposed to aggressive, then the elephant will never know his own power. Did anybody see that video? Tell me if you saw this video of the lady who climbed into the lion's cage today. Did y'all see that? That was a video that just came out. It went viral. I put it on my Instagram. If you want to see it, go to the real Boyce Watkins on Instagram. You can see it. This lady got high. She'd been hitting the pipe or something, like literally smoking. Like people saw her smoking before she went out there. And she literally was so high that she climbed over the fence and went into the area where the lions were, right? This was real. I was like, okay, this is fake. This is special effects. No, it was on TMZ, right? And they talked about it. They gave the backstory. The lady was high and all this. So she went into the cage with the lion. Now, think about this. Did anybody notice how the lion reacted, right? I don't know about y'all, but I was sitting there like, oh shit, this is about to get good. He about to jump on her and like tear her to pieces. I wonder when Facebook is going to delete this video. I better download it before they cut it off. Like I really thought she was done. Like, I was like, oh, you are so fucked right now, but this is gonna be good. Thanks for the entertainment, right? But the lion didn't. The lion just sat there, and the lion he was like, and he kept looking. He's like, are y'all seeing this? Like. And he just kept looking back. I mean, and the lion, and here's the thing, right? The lion was just kind of chilling, right? Now, ask yourself this question. If that had been a lion in the wild, if that had been a lion who'd not been trained to be passive, because in the zoo, they don't want animals to be ferocious. They want them to be drugged up. They want them to be as passive as possible because they know crazy people will do crazy things. They'll jump in the gorilla pit or whatever. If that lion had not been incarcerated in an environment where he's probably been given drugs and been trained to be very passive, what do you think that lion would have done? That lion would have ate her ass up because she was a big girl. That would have been a good meal for a hungry ass lion. But that lion wasn't hungry. He was just like the Negro in America. He was well fed. He was sitting in the cage. He was comfortable in his cage. He had been made passive. And when he saw his opportunity, he just sat there like, Massa, y'all see this, Massa? Massa, she jumped the fence, Massa. What's going on? So literally his incarceration as in the zoo just basically emasculated him of all things that made him into a lion in the first place. It killed his natural instincts, right? So for the black man in America and the black woman in America, that's what I saw when I saw this black man hugging the woman who just murdered his brother. Like he's sitting there hugging her, saying, I forgive you. And it's all good if you just lie to me and tell me that you're going to be a Christian and you beg for my. Of course, she's going to say all that. She's going to say whatever you want to hear because she's trying to get out of some shit. She's trying to figure out how she's going to get paroled in 5 years because she is scared to death. Oh my God, I'm a cop. I'm about to be locked up with all the people, with a bunch of people I locked up in the past. They're going to fuck me up, right? So she ain't trying to be aggressive with him. She's going to tell him, yes, I'm a Christian and I talked to Jesus and the Lord told me, the Lord spoke to me, Botham Jean's brother, whatever his name is. Let's call him, I don't know, let's call him Buffoonery James. Buffoonery Jean, I talked to Jesus last night and he came to me in a dream and told me that if I get one more chance, then I'm going to just do right by everybody. I am so sorry for what happened. And I was praying last night and I had my Bible out. Like that's what they do. They will play with your mind. They will play with you. Now, I'm not trying to say this brother's not a real Christian. I'm not trying to say that, I'm mocking his Christianity. I'm just saying, can't you just kind of forgive and keep it to yourself? Why must you make it into a public spectacle? Why must you provide this disturbing symbolism, this disturbing imagery of you hugging the person who just killed your brother? I would say, you know what, if I wanted to forgive her, what I would probably say is, I'm going to forgive her in my heart. And maybe one day I'll even tell her that she's forgiven. But for now, I'm going to keep this to myself because we all need to process this. And I'm going to spend more energy mourning the death of my brother than I'm going to spend either hating this person or going out of my way to forgive this person in public. I'm not going to do neither one of those things because I don't think you have to hate. I don't think you have to hate. But here's the thing. You don't got to be a sucker either. You ain't got to be a hater, but you ain't got to be a sucker. Right. So if you decide, if you went to court, if somebody killed your sibling and you're really wondering, like, if you're really honest with yourself, I don't know about y'all, but I would really be like, did this really happen on purpose? Or is there something I'm missing? Did she really shoot my brother and then pretend like it was an accident? Or was it really an accident? And if I decided that it was an accident, I would probably say, I forgive her. I would say to my mama, I forgive her. But I need her to go to jail because my brother ain't coming back. But I don't want her to go to jail forever. Because she shouldn't have been walking around that building with a gun and being all careless and shit because now my brother's gone. Like, that's literally what my logic would be. But if I forgave her, she would not know that shit until 20 years later. I'm not going to forgive you and hug you in public because all that is a game so that she can get paroled in 5 years. You don't think that image and that video and any of that testimony is going to be used when she goes up for parole in 5 years. If you don't think that is going to happen, then you out of your damn mind. She's preparing for her come up where she's going to get out of jail and be able to go on with her crazy life. And God knows who else she's going to victimize in the meantime. So that's my logic. That's my analysis on it. I hate the fact that the brother did this. I would have probably counseled him, like, forgive her. That's fine. It's okay for you to forgive, but you don't have to make it into a show. You don't have to make it into a spectacle. Why do you need this white lady to hug you for you to feel better about your day? What is wrong with you to make you think that this must be a public display of affection? Why not keep this all to yourself? That's what I probably would have told him. Now, anyway, I'm about to go, guys. Hit the thumbs up button, hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you'll be notified every time I go live. Please hit that notification bell. That's really important. Also, don't forget, we'll be in New York next month. If you want to come to the investment seminar, just go to drboycenewyork.com. Spell out the whole word New York, drboycenewyork.com. You're going to really love it. It's going to be great. So I'll see you guys there and have a good day. Talk to you soon. Peace.